This meeting of the Berry County Board of Commissioners is called to order. Will commissioners, staff, and guests please rise for invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Today's invocation is going to be given by Commissioner Bruce Campbell.
Dear Lord, thank you for a beautiful and wondrous day today and the opportunity to be here with our community and all of our fine commissioners. Please watch over us. Help us in making the right decisions which will best benefit you and our community. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For the purposes of attendance, the clerk will call the roll.
Campbell. Here. Connor.
Here.
Geiger.
Here.
Getty.
Here.
Gibson.
Here.
Jackson.
Here.
Smelker.
Here.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Approval of written agenda. At this time, any commissioner or member of the public may ask for an item to be removed from the consent agenda and placed under items for consideration. Hearing no such request, does any commissioner wish to change the agenda additionally? Hearing no such request and without objection, the agenda is approved as written. Reports from state and county officers. At this time, any state or county officer or their representative may give a report to the board. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning. I added you guys a couple handouts there. We'll start with the corrections facility. Corrections staff.
Did we get a new one?
Yeah. Corrections staff has booked and processed 91 persons into the jail for the month of March, and additionally released 68 persons back into the community. Of the 91 persons booked, we still don't have any weekenders. The average daily population is 59 persons. Staff has transported 29 inmates to and from various locations to include court, medical facilities, and other counties. In addition, we're not doing drug screens yet, obviously because of COVID and space. And the kitchen staff prepared a 5,238 meals at about $1.97 per meal. And if you look at 2021 compared to 5 years ago, 2016, time's flying, that 2016. Bookings are 91, 2016 was 185, releases 68 compared to 190. We didn't keep data on transports back then. Public prints, we're getting back this month. We started doing the fingerprinting up again, which is the CPLs and like adoptions, and we're getting caught up on the criminal fingerprinting. And we didn't have any data from 2016 for the plumbing repairs and HVAC repairs, but and this year it was $7,710.76. HVAC repairs is $5,595.82. Security repairs is $350. Berry County law enforcement logged 622 complaints in the month of March. 14 individuals were arrested, resulting in 1 felony and 13 misdemeanor charges. There were 59 accidents handled, 33 involved the deer, 6 involved alcohol and or drugs. The K-9 was activated on 4 occasions, resulting in quantities of drugs recovered and an apprehension of individuals in criminal cases. 335 criminal histories were run for warrant entry and warrant requests. 79 sex offenders were processed. 377 pistol licenses were processed for the month of March. 2021, there were 622 incidents. 2016, there were 648. Accidents handled 59, and in 2016, there was 57. Car deer, 2021 was 33, and in 2016, there was 24. Arrests, 36, 12 felony, and 32 misdemeanor, and in 2016, 69, 17 felonies, and 56 misdemeanors. Alcohol and drug-related arrests, 7. In 2016, there were 12. Any questions?
This is interesting data. I know that crime statistics are sometimes can be predicted by some of your staff by the season. So in 2016 you had 69 in arrests. In 2021 you had 36. What's the average like the last couple of years? Did we have a crime spree in 2016?
No, what we have is we're not taking as many of the smaller misdemeanors into the jail right now. Because we don't have the facilities to be able to quarantine people for 2 weeks before we let them into the general population.
So if I'm hearing you right, it's almost like there are 69 criminals out there. We only have room in our jail for 32.
Right. Well, it's not room, it's the processing. And we take a look at, a lot of these arrests are made that people don't show up for court or something like that, so they have a warrant out for them. And we're trying to find other ways to handle situations like that.
Any questions for Sheriff Lee?
I'd like to say thank you to finally put this in print for us, because otherwise, by the time I get done writing all your stuff down, I can't remember, I can't read my own writing.
Yeah. All right, we'll do it every time then.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Sheriff. Does any other state or county officer have a report to share with the board? Hearing none, we'll move ahead. Limited public comment at this time. Any member of the public wishing to address the board may do so for up to 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. Good morning. My name is Patricia Rail. I'm with the Village of Middleville, and I wanted to thank you very much for taking the vote last month to allow for those communities who wish to continue to have electronic or Zoom meetings. We greatly appreciate that. We've taken full advantage of that in Middleville, and because of that, we think we've gotten more public participation, because people can do this from the comfort of their couch and their smartphones. So we really appreciate that, and thank you so much for doing that. And then I wanted to also thank you in advance for when our bond issue comes before you soon regarding our wastewater treatment plant expansion. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there further public comment?
Good morning. Rick Moore, Berry County Parks.
He's going to
and
remind you
Harbor
to speak
Master
up.
of the Podunk Lake Yacht
He's
Club.
going to remind you to speak into your mic. So if your mic is far away from you now.
I'm within about 3 inches of this. I would wish to remind the commissioners and guests to speak in your outdoor voice so we can all hear you. I had the pleasure of being partially deaf last summer and over the winter, and my hearing has returned, but it still made me more aware of how quiet people are speaking often. My deafness was exactly like Ron Welton's, total in the left ear and partial in the right. And so it's very important that you be aware of, as the population gets older, to speak in your outdoor voice so we can all hear and share in your wisdom. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there further public comment? Hearing none, we'll move ahead. Various correspondence. Does any commissioner have correspondence to share with the board? Consent items. Commissioner Jackson.
I move for approval of the following items. Item A, approval of the March 16th Committee of the Whole meeting minutes.
Can you two switch mics? Your mic is having a feedback issue.
We can try. Item A, approval of the March 16th Committee of the Whole meeting minutes. Item B, approval of the March 23rd, 2021 Board of Commissioner meeting minutes. Item C, approval of April 6, 2021 Committee of the Whole meeting minutes. Item D, approval of the map change A-1-2021 from Conservation Reserve CR to Rural Residential RR in Section 30 of Irving Township. Item E, approval of the request from Spectrum Health Pennock Hospital to use the county property located directly south of the urgent care facility to grow a community garden. Item F, approval to reauthorize funds approved in 2020 capital budget in the 2021 capital budget and authorize payment of $20,750 to S.A. Mormon and Company from the Building Rehabilitation Fund for replacement of the access control system at the jail. Item G, approval to accept the actual cash value from MMRA of $9,500 and direct them to sell the 2013 Ford Taurus VIN number 1FAHP2H84 DG230373 for salvage to the highest bidder and approve $34,329 to purchase a vehicle from the State of Michigan My Deal program vehicle list to replace the vehicle with funds to be paid for from the vehicle fund.
Second.
Motion by Jackson, supported by Gibson, to approve the items listed under the consent agenda. Discussion is not allowed and roll call vote is required. All those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed will vote nay. The clerk will call the roll.
Campbell.
Yes.
Connor.
Yes.
Getty.
Yes.
Gibson.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Smelker.
Yes.
Geiger.
Yes, the consent agenda is approved. Presentations. Sheriff Leaf, you have a special presentation.
We have several, several presentations, and it's nice hearing some really, really good news and hearing that our employees out there are doing some excellent work. So I'm gonna have Jason start out, and who you start out with? We got some life-saving awards we're gonna hand out here. So bear with us, and we'll read through it.
We'll have Deputy Romp, Deputy Cooper, Joe Cooper, and Deputy Royal come up, please.
And immediately following this presentation, officers and deputies, we ask that you stay. We're going to have a little photo op with the Hastings banner.
On Tuesday, February 16, 2021, approximately 15:30 hours, Deputy Joe Cooper, Deputy Bill Romp, and Deputy Michael Royal were dispatched to the area of M37 and Cloverdale Road, reference a reckless driver. While checking the area, they came upon a vehicle parked which matched the description that was given to them by Central Dispatch. Deputies made contact with the driver. While making contact with the driver, they found him disoriented while speaking and was unable to tell the deputies what he was doing and where he was at. He was quite sweaty at the time and uncontrollable body movements at the time. He could not tell him about any medical conditions except that he was a diabetic. Upon learning that, the EMS was actually diverted to another location for another issue. Thus, they took it upon their own hands. They found a granola bar, some cookies, and gummy bear that they had in their vehicles and provided it to the driver, the victim himself. They did do a test strip, electronic blood sugar glucose monitoring kit. The blood sugar read at 36 the first time. Later on, just a few minutes later, they got it up to 48, and just before the EMS arrived, it was up to 83. At that time, he was able to speak clearly and was actually starting to function again. He was turned over to EMS at that time. The victim himself requested that Deputy Joe Cooper, Deputy Bill Romp, and Deputy Michael Royal did save his life. Lieutenant Olenichuk reached out to a doctor who reassured him that the measures taken to save this man's life was legit. We would like to honor Deputy Joe Cooper, Deputy Bill Romp, and Deputy Michael Royal with a life-saving award.
On behalf of the government of this county and the people we represent, thank you so much for what you do. And just one gummy bear in that car.
Congratulations. Is it okay if we take this picture real quick?
Absolutely. Any comments from the board? I know we have a lot of people that have worked, seen it, these guys up close or served war. It's quite reassuring to know folks like you are out there.
Any one of the three of you like to talk? No, sir, I'm all right. Very good. Thank you again very much. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Next union contractor issuing gummy bears.
Yeah.
We have another one, except for this deputy couldn't be here today for an illness. And Under Sheriff Sixbury.
This was in the paper once prior, but we would like to still offer a Certificate of Achievement Award for Deputy Elliot Heisler. On January 20th, in the early morning hours, Deputy Elliot Heisler was dispatched to a residence where a woman was in labor with contractions less than a minute apart. Deputy Heisler calmly answered the radio and responded to find the woman laying on her back and ready to give birth. He quickly jumped into action. He comforted the woman and then noticed the top of the baby's head appearing. He calmly instructed her to push, at which point the baby's shoulders appeared. He continued to give instructions and delivered a healthy baby boy. At the time, while he was holding the youngster, he realized the baby was not making any sounds. He gently gave a baby on the pat on the back in the butt area, at which time the child started crying. EMS arrived at that point, and EMS handled the rest of the situation. But he did help deliver the baby, a healthy baby boy, and he will be given the Achievement Award.
Berry County since '89 when I started, we've always been able to go out and help each other out. All the agencies, we all pitch in anytime any officer needs help. And this is one of those classic cases here. But this one here, these guys went above and beyond a very tricky situation that could have turned out horrible. And their quick wit here, they're getting what's called a meritorious award. On Tuesday, 2/16 of 2021 at approximately 3:30, Deputy, whoops, how did that one get mixed in with mine? There we are. Sorry about that. Deputy Olmsted was dispatched to the residence for a domestic situation. Deputy Olmsted arrived and made contact with a girlfriend at the residence. While talking with her, he heard a male subject chamber around into a gun. Deputy Olmsted was able to remove the female from the house and to his patrol car. The suspect's daughter had locked herself in her own bedroom downstairs. There was no exit for the daughter other than coming back up through the house. Deputy Olmsted had dispatch call the daughter, tell her to remain in the basement. Deputy Olmsted watched the suspect through the window while he was at the kitchen table. Deputy Olmsted observed the subject with a handgun and put it in his pants pocket. Berry Township Officer Perkowski arrived on scene. While they were coming up with a plan to address the suspect, he left the residence and started walking toward the barn. The suspect refused their commands to stop. Once at the barn...
Which one's Bertowski? Yeah, all
I'm
right.
sorry. You can take it
I
back.
need to follow along with this. Sorry, Sheriff.
Once at the barn door, it appears the suspect puts his hands down to his front pocket where the gun was. Having lethal cover from Perkowski, Deputy Olmsted deployed his taser into the suspect's back, and the suspect fell to the ground. Once on the ground, the suspect turned on his back and reached for his pocket again. Deputy Olmsted deployed his taser again, hitting the suspect in the hand and torso. The suspect was taken into custody, and a loaded handgun was found in the suspect's pocket where he was reaching. Yes, this does happen in Berry County, and these guys handled it brilliantly. That's why they're getting what's called a Meritorious Service Award. So I congratulate these two for working together and making us all proud.
What an incredible story.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your fast thinking and cool heads.
I did just want to let you know that it's the sheriff's ultimate decision with the awards itself, but we do have a awards nomination committee, which is based on our sergeants at the office. And Chief Doster is here also with his detective, Jenny. Yeah.
Any of you want to share any insight or tips, wisdom that you might have with the board?
I'd just like to thank our administration for the training that we received.
Mhm.
I think that plays a big role in it. I'd also like to thank Officer Perkowski. I trusted my life with him that day, and that's how it turned out as well as it did.
I'm sure this county's patrol can be very routine, and that's a tough shift to run, you know, a Berry County shift. So kudos to you for having it within you to turn it on exactly when you needed it. Chief, do you have anything to say?
Yes, you do. Yes, so. Actually, I'm quite proud of both the deputy, Olmsted, and my officer, Perkowski. We are trained. We're up. All of us are on the SRT team. So that training came in extremely helpful.
Great.
And I'm hoping that he continues his service this way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys are welcome to say something if you'd like.
A lot of people don't realize that sometimes we have two, three, sometimes 4 deputies patrolling 576 square miles. And just want to thank the townships and the villages and the city here for allowing their officers to go on out and help us out. Sometimes our backup can be 20 minutes away, and especially in the winter months when you drive all those straight roads in Berry County. You put a little ice on those curves and everything like that, and it makes driving pretty hectic. So, and thank you guys for your support for giving us the funds to be able to keep these guys trained and everything.
Yeah. Thank you, Sheriff. If I told our next presenter that we would have a couple of minutes between presentations, so
She is here.
yeah, we still need to set up. If there's no objection, the board will take a 3-minute recess. Board is at recess. to order. At this time, we have a special presentation from Commissioner Getty and Linda Maupin.
It's been my pleasure to serve. It's been my pleasure to serve on the Community Mental Health Board and with Linda over the last few months. And I'm excited to bring attention to a very important subject. And I'm going to yell into the microphone because that's what Rick wants me to do. We wanted to recognize April as Child Abuse Prevention Month. And I apologize, my cell phone is going off. So I'll turn it over to Linda, and she can explain why this is such an important topic.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine. It works
Okay.
about 2 to 3 inches is a good distance away from that microphone.
I'm sorry?
2 to 3 inches is a good distance.
Oh, gotcha.
So,
Is that better?
yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. In the past, we have been supported by the City of Hastings, and we believe that it's so important for all of Berry County to recognize child abuse prevention. I'm Linda Maupin. I'm the Executive Director of the Family Support Center of Berry County. And last year, we saw a definite decrease in the number of reported families that were investigated. We saw a 21% decrease, a 27% decrease, and in the number of cases after investigated, we saw a decrease of 37.7%. Unfortunately, this is not because abuse and neglect have gone down. This is because there was no visibility to these children. So we're doing everything we can to raise that visibility and to train people on how to be mandated reporters or how to report these incidents. We expect a huge increase after COVID, so everything that we can do to bring attention to Child Abuse Prevention Month is so helpful. So thank you very much. I appreciate this.
When Catherine, Commissioner Getty, and yourself introduced the idea of adopting a resolution, we'd never done a proclamation before. So I consulted with Vice Chair Connor, and the bylaws of the county board allow the board chair or acting chair to proclaim a month. So I have, effective April 1, proclaimed that April 2021 is Child Abuse Prevention Month in Berry County. There were 134 cases of child abuse in Berry County in 2020, and whereas the Family Support Center of Berry County has been designated by the Michigan Children's Trust Fund to lead alongside local community-based programs to assist in expediting efforts to prevent child abuse now and in the future for generations through joint interagency prevention efforts. Now therefore be it proclaimed that April 2021 is Child Abuse Prevention Month in Berry County.
Thank you.
Catherine, do you want to get a picture?
Oh.
You guys want to go maskless?
Oh, good idea. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Moving ahead, public hearings, we have none. Items for consideration. The world is playing tricks on Catherine Getty today.
My microphone was off. I move to proof of transfers and disbursements for the approval of prepaid invoices in the amount of $3,503,381.16.
Is there support?
Support.
Motion by Getty, supported by Jackson, for the approval of prepaid invoices in the amount of $3,503,381.16. Is there discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Connor. Yes. Getty.
Yes.
Gibson.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Smelker. Yes. Campbell.
Yes.
Geiger.
Yes. Motion passes.
I move for the approval of claims in the amount of $124,977.20.
Motion by Getty, supported by Smelker, for the approval of claims in the amount of $124,977.20. Is there discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Getty.
Yes.
Gibson.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Smelker.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Connor.
Yes.
Geiger.
Yes. Motion carries.
I move for the approval of commissioner reimbursements for mileage in the amount of $109.87.
Is there support?
Support.
Motion by Getty, supported by Jackson, for the approval of commissioner reimbursements mileage in the amount of $109.87. Is there discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Gibson.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Smelker.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Connor.
Yes.
Getty.
Yes.
Geiger.
Yes. Motion carries.
I move for the adoption of Resolution 21-12, resolution to accept 2021 equalization values.
Support.
Motion by Getty, supported by Gibson, for adoption of Resolution 21-12, a resolution to accept 2021 equalization values. Is there discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Jackson.
Yes.
Smelker.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Connor.
Yes.
Getty.
Yes.
Gibson.
Yes.
Geiger.
Yes, the resolution is adopted.
Move for the approval to extend the amended and restated Hastings City Berry County Airport contract for airport management service between the Hastings City Berry County Airport Commission and Mark Noteboom for an additional 3 years through June 1st, 2024, as recommended. As recommended by Hastings City Berry County Airport Commission.
Support.
Motion by Getty, supported by Gibson, for the approval to extend amended and restated Hastings City Berry County Airport contract for airport management service between the Hastings City Berry County Airport Commission and Mark Noteboom for an additional 3 years through June 1, 2024, as recommended by the Hastings City Berry County Airport Commission.
Mr. Chair,
Discussion. Commissioner Smelker.
I would like to postpone this to no later than the BOC meeting first BOC meeting in May. I still have some questions on this that I would like answered.
I would support that.
Is there a specific reason that this item should be postponed?
At the meeting that we had at the last airport commission, it was on the agenda as a discussion about the contract, and I didn't know the contract wasn't attached. There were things said that regarding who could and who couldn't hire an airport manager. Was stated that Mark Noteboom, the current manager, gets to pick the next manager. It was stated that both parties, John asked if both parties, the airport commission and the manager, if we could both terminate the contract with 90 days for no cause, and that is not correct. The commission cannot just cancel the contract. That's not stated. We have to have a cause. So there was some misunderstanding about things that were in the contract, so I would like to go and ask about these things at the next meeting to clarify them. Mark, I did contact Mark last week, and he did send me minutes It wasn't from last summer, it was from the summer before that regarding the discussion on him training his replacement. At that time, there were 2 candidates, but there was no motion made, and there definitely wasn't any kind of a motion that said he would be picking the next manager. So just need to clarify some
Yeah.
of the understanding on those items.
Ooh,
Yes, for the record, I'd like it to be noted that the city council approved this request last night at their meeting.
was the discussion lengthy? Ooh, or, okay.
Do you know the vote on that?
I thought it was 100%. I'm not sure.
Okay, thank you.
Well, we have postponed items like these in the past, and it seems like there are some questions, and I know Commissioner Smelker and Commissioner Connor are very diligent on that board, so we want to make sure your questions are answered. So, Commissioner Smelker, you have asked that the item be postponed to a no later date. It is easier for our staff in the administration office to just put it on the next one. And if we're not in a position to vote on it then it stays on unfinished business. So would you be willing to make your amendment or make your motion to postpone the item until the next scheduled Board of Commissioners meeting?
I would, yes.
Is there support?
No, because the airport board doesn't meet until after our next Board of Commissioner meeting. The next airport meeting is Wednesday, the 28th, which would be after the next Board of Commissioners. The contract doesn't begin until June 1st, so we were
What was that date, March? Of the airport meeting.
April 28th.
How about motion to postpone the item until the first scheduled Board of Commissioners meeting after April 28th?
That would be fine.
I'm agreeable.
So a motion by Smelker, supported by Connor, to postpone the item until the first scheduled Board of Commissioners meeting after April 28th. Is there discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Smelter,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Connor,
And this is on the
This is on postponement.
postponing. Yes.
Getty. Yes. Gibson,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Geiger.
Yes, the item is postponed.
I move for the adoption of Resolution 2113, a resolution to approve final contract for construction management services.
I think it's that side of the room. No, I think it's too far from the receiver.
I need a headset. Adoption of Resolution 2113, a resolution to approve final contract for construction management services and award of subcontractor trades relating to county courts and law building renovation project.
Second.
Motion by Getty, supported by Smelker, for the adoption of Resolution 21-13, a resolution to approve final contract for construction management services and award of subcontractor trades relating to county courts and law building renovation project. Discussion.
I'm happy that this project is getting off the ground and that we're moving forward on this.
Sure, Mr. Chairman, if it's all right, I'd take just a moment. Tim Vandercote, who is the construction manager and general contractor on this project, is with us. Tim, if you want to stand up for just a minute. As well as Tim Spitzley, who is the architect on this project. So once we get going, you may see both of them around, but I did want to give an opportunity for the board to at least put a face, since we've been doing a lot of this under COVID and whatnot, with the individuals that will be hugely involved in completing this project on our behalf. So,
How many hours did we spend working on this project? These two commissioners. Hours.
With COVID, it kind of got... but-
yeah, it's just started.
Hung out, yeah.
So,
Now we've got to work our way through the steering of the project, so both Commissioner Connor and Commissioner Smelker will, I appreciate their involvement, will serve on the steering team that will see the project through.
Hoot has a question.
Yeah.
Do you know at this time if any local contractors are going to be involved in this project?
Yeah, I think Carpenter Plumbing got the plumbing portion of the contract. Do you recall, Tim, if there were any other? I don't believe that there were any other local. We did. We worked diligently we advertised it locally. We also direct mailed to a number of local contractors that we work with. Unfortunately, it's a busy season. I mean, people are good contractors. A couple of things, if you recall back, and it seems like a long time ago, but 2008 and beyond weeded out a lot of our contractors. Those that stayed are now busy. It's a hugely busy time of year, and housing and construction is going in full force. So we understand that some of them may not have had the ability to. We also understand that this is a bit of a unique project. It's a commercial type project, so it may not have applied necessarily to some of our subs. Nonetheless, we did take every effort to make folks aware of it. And yeah, I think we did have a couple that bid, but Brad Carpenter with Carpenter Plumbing was the one that was a local bid that was low.
Okay, thanks.
Well, we've been very pleased with both of your firms and how easy you've been to work with the county, and we are very proud of our facilities, and we want to make sure they last for generations and are a good place to work in. So thanks for that. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, the question before the board is adoption of Resolution 2113, a resolution to approve final contract and construction management services and award of some subcontractor trades relating to county courts and law building renovation project. Clerk will call the roll.
Campbell.
Yes.
Connor.
Yes.
Getty.
Yes.
Gibson.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Smelker.
Yes.
Geiger.
Yes. The resolution is adopted.
I move to approve to increase the wage scales for all general fund department heads and general fund non-represented employees by 2% for 2021, retroactive to January 1st, 2021, 2% for 2022, 2% for 2023, 2% for 2024, and 2% for 2025.
Second.
Motion by Getty, supported by Smelker, for the approval to increase the wage scales for all general fund department heads and general fund non-represented employees by 2% for 2021, retroactive to January 1, 2021, 2% for 2022, 2% for 2023, 2% for 2024, and 2% for 2025. Is there discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Connor.
Yes.
Getty.
Yes.
Gibson.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Smelker.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Geiger.
Yes. The motion passes.
I move for the approval to increase the employer contributions to the dental, optical, hearing, reimbursement accounts to $600 for 2021, $700 for 2022, $800 for 2023, $900 for 2024, and $1,000 for 2025, and replace the current other post-employment benefits, retiree health program, and retiree life insurance benefit with MERS individual health care savings accounts with an employer contribution of $30 per month per employee for general fund department heads, general fund non-represented employees, and elected officials, including judges.
Support.
Motion by Getty, supported by Smelker, for approval to increase the employer contributions to the dental, optical, hearing reimbursement accounts to $600 for 2021, $700 for 2022, $800 for 2023, $900 for 2024, and $1,000 for 2025, and replace the current other post-employment benefits, retiree health program, and life insurance benefit with MERS individual health care savings accounts with an employer contribution of $30 per month per employee for general fund department heads, general fund non-represented employees, and elected officials, including judges. Is there discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Getty,
Yes.
Gibson,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Smelker,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Connor,
Yes.
Geiger.
Yes, the item is approved. Unfinished business, we have no unfinished business. New business, there is none. County Administrator's Report. Thank you. I have nothing. Vice Chairperson Connor.
Thank you. That's kind of old news. That's old news. So John and I attended the bid opening for the Courts and Law Building Project. It's been a long time since our last board meeting because we didn't have a...
That's why it feels like it's been so long.
Oh.
It's that fifth Tuesday, guys.
Yeah, so at our Gun Lake Improvement Board, new officers were elected. I was re-elected as chairperson, and Jim Dahl is the secretary-treasurer. We also approved our meeting dates for the 2021 season. Our next meeting is April 29th, and it's at the Orangeville Township Hall. We have a busy season. This is the last year of our weed assessment, so we'll be seeking another 3-year assessment. So we'll be having a public hearing in June, if hopefully we'll be able to meet, because it's a lot of people, big population at Gun Lake. So we're going to move forward. We've got to let out bids for the contracts for the consulting services and weed treatment. Orangeville Township, they met. I attended that. Their big discussion was on the American Rescue Plan monies. Clerk Reisner has attended some training, and still there's not concrete advice as far as how that can be used.
No, Congress was quite vague.
Yes.
Thank you
So
to them.
basically, they said check with your attorney before you do anything. So Yankee Springs, there was some discussion on that. They did approve a new fire barn committee, they did approve a new veterans committee for their veterans memorial, and they also have a new committee that's going to bring a purchasing policy before the board for approval.
That's in Yankee Springs.
That's at Yankee Springs. Also, Yankee Springs, on April 24th, they're having their township cleanup in conjunction with the DNR. That starts at 9 a.m., and they're meeting at the fire barn. So if you want to get out and clean up some of the nice state property that they have in Yankee Springs Township, it's a beautiful place, lots of trails, lots of things. There's a game area, and the parks has a huge land allocation there for Yankee Springs State Park. Come out and join us.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner. We're going to start over on this end. Commissioner Campbell, do you have anything to report?
I do, thank you. First of all, thank you, Ben, for honoring me with the introduction today, invocation. I do apologize to the constituents out here and the board for failure to turn my microphone on. Next time,
we could hear you.
That will not happen again. Yes, I and Vivian met with the Solid Waste Board, who continues to work on their RFP for a person to oversee recycling. This has been posted in the local papers and will be decided on soon. Also, they do have a May 8th, which is a very important date, at the Expo Center, which we will be having the hazardous waste drop-off, and details of that will be publicized in the local papers. As far as my 4 wonderful townships, they have been working extensively on their annual meetings this month, so not much else going on there. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Commissioner Smelker.
I've only had 2 township meetings, and they discussed COVID, what they're going to do from now on with their COVID meetings, and they did discuss a little bit on what they were going to do with the money coming from federal funding. So That's all I got.
Commissioner Gibson.
Yes, I attended a court security meeting Friday. At this time, they're only allowing 10 general public into the court meetings. I'll be going to Hastings Township this evening. That's all I have.
Commissioner Jackson.
All set, thank you.
Commissioner Getty.
I've attended a Berry County Parks and Rec meeting. We have formed 2 committees, a Trails Committee and a Marketing and Branding Committee, and work has begun in working to mobilize those efforts. We've approved contracts for our Porta-John services and the purchaser of a mower and gator for Charlton Park. Village of Middleville, the bids came back for their wastewater treatment facility at about 30% less than expected. So that was in the paper this week as well. So they were pleased with that, and they're considering final drafts of their marijuana ordinance, and it's out for legal review now. Thornapple Township passed a resolution for maintenance of the Duncan Lake Intercounty Drain. And they also opened an account, a separate bank account for the American Rescue Plan monies, as has been advised for all entities to keep those funds separate and accountable to the federal government. The Mental Health Board met. Our annual audit was presented, and it was a clean audit, so they were pleased with that. And we elected officers that had been delayed because of the appointments that were being made to the board. And we have Linda Maupin was elected to continue as chair. Bob Becker was elected vice chair. He was serving as vice chair and treasurer in the interim. And our new member, Dwayne Secord, was elected treasurer.
Thank you, Commissioner. I will state that I do plan on leading discussion at the next committee of the whole. We need to find some type of arrangement to have a commissioner on the COA board. Might have to do some type of rotating schedule. But that board has been without a commissioner for a while now. So, is there any other reports from commissioners? Hearing none, we'll move ahead. Limited public comment this time. Any member of the public wishing to address the board may do so for up to 3 minutes. Hearing no request to speak, and there being no other business before the board, without objection, the board will now adjourn.